Welcome to the Wild Type Podcast. I'm Neptune the Chameleon.
I'm Lyssa Lizards.
And we're your reptile girlies. All right, ladies and gents, we have an update.
A very exciting update.
Look at you.
Pulling out my puns today.
That's good.
Thank you.
Let's get cracking on the latest news.
Have you guys guessed yet what the update is?
We're talking about eggs. So as you guys know at this point, I've successfully mated Neptune and Venus.
But we're very proud of you because that was a long journey.
As the simplest way to put that. Yeah. But yes, that's one way to say that. Yep, absolutely. But for those of you who don't know, panther chameleons will retain sperm.
Yes.
A lot of chameleon species will actually do this. Mm-hmm. So there's a chance that the next couple clutches that Venus lays
could be fertile.
Mm-hmm. They mated one singular time, like
that's
walked
so wild
once,
how that works.
And that still can result in or one or two or three. I've heard up to like 5 or 6 clutches.
That's absolutely insane, frankly. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened to humans. I would be so pissed.
And you're getting like, what, at least 20 eggs?
Yeah. Like crazy.
What? Okay,
that's so many.
The update is Venus just laid her next clutch. Mm-hmm. So if we're doing the math here, they made it in August. She laid her first clutch in September. We are now in November at time of filming this.
Yes.
So she's now laid her second clutch. I just dug them up. I think it was 33 eggs in total.
Dang. And that was more than the first one, right?
Yes, first one was 25.
Okay, cool.
And 20 to 30 is like average clutch size, so we're right in that range. And they may be fertile, may not be fertile.
TBD.
Because they're really white in some parts, and then they've got like little yellowy spots in others.
Are there some that don't have any spots? Or
no.
Okay, because
every single one has even just like a tiny
This
yellow
is like
spot.
a random question that I have. Is it possible when they like retain the sperm and lay like a second or third clutch or whatever, is it possible that some are fertilized and some are not?
Yes, could be a partial fertile clutch.
Interesting.
And I've read on the chameleon forums that there's some people like the 2 or 3 clutches after, like those babies usually aren't as like hardy,
solid,
as like the first clutch, with thoughts of it being like there's not as much. I don't know,
much sperm to go around.
I don't know how. Yeah, because that's what popped in my head, but then it sounded weird, and then you said it, so we're just going with.
They get like the bottom of the barrel sperm.
Kind of leftover.
It's so gross.
Because now you're picturing a barrel of sperm, right?
So gross.
That's what you started. I
did. I'm sorry.
I tried to nip it in the butt and not go that direction, and you just went deep in.
That's real gross.
Anyways, so time will tell, because what'll either happen is the eggs will mold over, right, which is common and expected with infertile clutches.
And you already had a few do that in the first clutch,
two for sure. Okay. There may be a couple. We'll see, TBD. But time will tell, and there may be some that are like 99% white and just have like a little yellow speck on them that might make it through, but some are like half yellow, and I'm not expecting those to pull through.
Those aren't our best.
No. Yeah. No, and it's so interesting because these are so itty bitty in comparison to the current clutch I have.
The video that you sent
me. Could you tell the difference?
Oh, incredibly. I mean, it was like very obvious.
It was like side by side. Yeah. And the eggs are so small, but it wasn't until I saw them next to the newly laid ones.
It was so obvious. I mean, they were just way smaller.
Yeah.
Like very noticeable difference between the first and the second.
And that has nothing to do with the fertility of it. That's just the size of the egg, which just is very exciting because that means my first clutch is growing. Yeah. They're getting bigger. So and they're getting like plumper.
Well, like rounder. And I think that's like how it's supposed to go. At least from like some of the egg progression videos I've seen of like other keepers, even like snakes and stuff. It's like they start out kind of like funky looking, and then they like it's like they fill out.
Yeah.
They like just kind of
so exciting.
Glow up a little bit.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll see. I mean, I'm totally fine if this turns out to be a fully infertile clutch. If I get like a couple out of them.
That's a difference between like, 20 babies and like 50 babies. So
yeah, low key.
So that would kind of be nice if there were.
Yeah, and that's why I have not done any additional mating at this point. So I was like, I don't know if I'm walking into 3 or 4 clutches of like full fertile eggs or what.
You want to protect yourself a little bit so that you don't end up with 200 babies.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. So
No.
So yeah, so that's the egg update. Always check out my channel, Neptune the Chameleon. That's going to be a little more recent, and up to date, I guess.
All the details.
And way more detail because I already filmed a whole video of pulling out the eggs and everything else, and that's going to be on YouTube long before this episode will be. So
cool.
Feel free to check that out if you are interested in chameleons and following along in that journey.
In her breeding journey, because we're very proud of her.
I know. It's it's getting more nerve-wracking. Yeah, and I had my nano enclosures delivered as well.
Very exciting.
So I think once those are set up, then it's going to be what did I get myself into? But we're not there yet, so.
We're getting there, though.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Also, I feel like it'd be amiss to not mention how we literally are both wearing
yes, we are.
jeans in a purple shirt in almost the exact same shade of purple.
Pretty much identical.
There's no coordination on this.
No, she showed up at my house like this, so.
The only difference is, you guys can't see this, but I'm wearing cool Cheerio socks, and she's not, so.
Yes. No, and you always have the best sock game, that's for sure, without a doubt.
Some of my favorites.
Yes.
But my shirt is some Neptune the Chameleon merch. It says, ask me about my pet chameleon, so that was fitting. And you're, of course, rocking
our Reptile Girlies merch. Yes.
I love that one.
This one is easily my favorite shirt that we have, for sure. I mean, the other ones are fun, but I love this one.
That one's favorite. If you know, you know.
Yes. It's the best.
If you're a reptile girly, you get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So today's episode is for all of our people who are doing their Christmas shopping.
Yes.
Also for our reptile girlies who have a significant other who's what should I get you for Christmas? Or whatever holidays you're celebrating. Send them this podcast with this timestamp right here. And just give them some ideas, because we're going to share some of our things that maybe we've gotten in the past or wish we would have gotten for Christmas, and then share them with you guys.
Yeah. And also, just PSA, none of the things that we're going to be going over are live animals. And if you would like to know why, check out our previous episode
about this time last year
about why live animals don't make great pets.
With a little asterisk. Unless you've done your research and are fully understanding of the commitment that is involved in
exactly. Disclaimers.
The fine print.
All the disclaimers. So that was kind of one of the reasons for Christmas holiday season this year, we wanted to just give you guys some ideas.
Yes.
So I have broken out a list of probably too many ideas, but I kind of broke them up by bigger budget items. So we have the smaller budget items, which are all have the potential to be under $100.
Okay.
And
I like this.
And some of these are very cheap too, and could be great stocking stuffers, right? Because that's a huge thing. And
absolutely.
And so I have smaller budget and then bigger budget. And I would say the bigger budget ones are in between $150 to $300 or so. So depends on, what you're buying, what you're looking for.
Okay. So you guys know, I don't know what's on her list.
Yeah. We divided and conquered today. Yeah.
So I have some things, and we'll see if they make it on your list.
I was going to mention this. If there's anything that I don't include that you're thinking of, be sure to mention it.
I'm ready.
Should we start out with the smaller items and stocking stuffers and work our way up?
I think small to big.
Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, so one of the things, which we actually just already kind of plugged, is super cute reptile merch.
Oh, yes.
So shameless plug for our merch. If you have a reptile girly in your life.
So we have podcast merch.
Yes.
We have Lyssa's Lizards merch.
We do.
We have Neptune the Chameleon merch.
We do.
And $20, right? For a t-shirt, nothing crazy.
There's also cute stuff on there, mugs and glasses, hats,
notebooks, even stickers.
All kinds of cute stuff. So check all that out. And then one that we actually have a sponsor is Creature Farm. They also have fabulous reptile merch.
Yes.
So if you're looking for something that has a Western hognose on it or something like that, they have some really, really cute merch for that stuff.
And not just merch, but they have name tags.
Yes.
And if you have heard our ads, and thank you so much to Creature Farm for sponsoring the podcast, but we mentioned it. But they're these little wood printed tags that have the species, all the information, and you can even go a step further and get the name of the animal custom on there.
They're so freaking cute. I'm obsessed with them. I got 3 and I'm planning on getting more because I want them all to match and I want them all to look really good.
They're so cool.
They're so cute. So if you have somebody in your life who, doesn't have any enclosure tags or anything, it's perfect gift.
Just make sure you get the right species with the right name.
Yes. Don't get that mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's a good one. So this one is a little bit random, but I kind of like this idea. And I feel like it's a fun way of gifting something that is alive, that is less risky and less of a concern.
Okay, where are you going with this?
So I said a tub and some really cool isopods.
Oh, get some like bougie isopods.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I would be thrilled to get some cool isopod species and like a tub to keep them in.
I'm just imagining a wrapped present
Right?
with a bow that says "Do not shake."
Right.
Do not turn upside down.
Yeah.
Leave upright.
Yeah.
Because, you always want to like shake a gift
100%.
before you open it.
Who doesn't?
And like those little isopods and go, wee.
Right.
But like inside of those.
I was trying to think out of the box because some of these are like pretty.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's a safe thing. You don't have to, it's not something you obviously need to like miss them and stuff. But
yes.
There's not like a ton of work that is involved.
If a non-reptile keeper gets them for a reptile keeper, they would definitely be able to keep them alive
100%.
for a couple days or even a week or two or whatever time frame. Like if they're going to purchase them from someone and they don't have any like direct experience, like the isopods will be fine.
Exactly. So
No,
I thought that was like a really
good.
like random creative one that a lot of people like may not think of, but I just love that idea because I personally would love to get some.
I also, when you said merch, I forgot I've gotten a lot of like reptile shirts as gifts.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten
sure.
at least 2 chameleon shirts that were just like off Amazon or whatever. And then I got one that was like, yes, I really do need all these reptiles.
Oh, perfect.
Which was a good one too. So
we love. And there's tons of really cute ones on Amazon and stuff too. So just
I've gotten like chameleon socks before.
Yeah. Like it doesn't have to be our merch or merch in particular. Just cute. And that was something else I had on here is just like cute reptile t-shirts. So
perfect.
So we love those. This one is kind of funny, but cork bark or branches. And this could be a free gift. You could go out in nature and collect them for your loved one, which I think is very sweet.
Hey, honey, I got you this stick.
I mean, I would
but
not
any
be upset.
reptile keeper is like,
I'd be like,
so
you get
sweet.
me. You get me. You understand. Like,
yeah, I would probably, if a non-reptile keeper is listening to this, that is a little risky because there are certain like woods that maybe aren't recommended or like sanitary, whatever.
Yeah, that's
cork
fair.
bark though, fair game.
Yeah.
Manzanita branches, fair game. And cork bark's
ghost
pricey.
Grapevine branches too. Those ones are great too. So
yeah.
Wood.
I would happily have someone else pick up the bill for that.
100%. Like just reptile keepers love wood. So buy them some wood.
You're not wrong.
Okay, so then this one is probably, I just bumped the mic. This one is probably one of my favorite for a stocking stuffer.
Okay.
And that is an infrared temperature gun.
Absolutely.
Like 10, 12, maybe max 15 to 20 bucks on Amazon.
Yeah.
And like literally if they don't have one yet, first off, they should. I'll be shocked if they don't have one yet. But if they don't, I lose mine all the time. So even if they do have one, like it doesn't hurt to have spares.
And it doesn't have to be a reptile branded one.
No.
It can be literally any infrared like laser temp gun. Yeah, those are fantastic. I've had the same one. In fact, I have never had to replace the batteries on it. Yeah. And I've had it for, how old is Neptune? 6 years now?
Oh gosh. Dang.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
But I also am not checking the temps of rats regularly. So
that's
I don't use it probably as often.
I probably get a lot more use out of mine. Also 10 reptiles, 10 basking spots, like all that. So I'm probably using mine a little more often. But okay, this is another fabulous stocking stuffer that is like under 30 bucks, I would say. Smart plugs.
Yes.
This is like my top tier best like tip ever.
Not even just for reptile keepers, just in anybody. General.
I mean, who doesn't love a good smart plug? I use smart plugs all over my house to set up the lighting timers in my house. Because like I would be so mad if I like walked out in my living room in the morning and like my fun lights weren't on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've been gifted smart plugs multiple times and I am never mad about it.
Yes. And don't get me wrong, the regular like outlet timers are wonderful, cheap option, all of that. But me personally, there's nothing I cherish more than if from anywhere in the world, I can look on my phone and turn my lights on and off. Like that to me.
It's also nice with daylight savings time.
You just quickly update it. Like it's so easy having it all on your phone. So like I cannot recommend smart plugs enough. And it's a great gift for literally anyone, not even just reptile keepers. So
agreed.
Love that one. So this one is one that I actually don't have, but I have seen this recommended a lot for different people. And especially if you keep bioactive, if you deal with any fungus gnats or, little flying animals or, bugs or whatever, the catchy it's like it's called a catchy, but it's like a little contraption that basically like draws in and sucks in the bugs.
I just want to get like a bug eating plant.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like the Venus flytraps. Yeah. We love those.
I just want to get one of those.
My dad was always obsessed with those. So I grew up like really, really loving those, thinking they were so cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna score some. Yeah. Next Reptile Expo we go to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But anyway, so catchy, I think that's a great option. If you deal with a lot, and it's like $40 on Amazon. Like, nothing crazy. So this one's kind of funny, but a power strip with 12 plus outlets.
And that's like grounded, protected,
of course,
whatever. Because you have to pay extra for those types of,
you do.
Strips. Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. I think people underestimate just how many plugs
100%
you need when you have reptile enclosures, because you've got your UVB, you've got your heat, potentially a plant LED, times how many enclosures.
Yep. It's an electrical nightmare. It's a mess. So literally, if I opened up, because the ones I use, I've got one that has 18 outlets on it. It's incredible. And so if I like didn't have one of those and somebody gifted me one of those, best Christmas ever. I would
Agreed.
be so, it's something that doesn't sound like an exciting gift, but to a reptile keeper, it's everything.
But it is fantastic. I agree with that 100%.
Yes. So then this one is one of my personal favorites that I actually own, but the dinosaur foot slippers.
Those are adorable.
I'm obsessed with them. I wear them all the time around the house.
And they look so comfortable.
They're so comfortable. They're so cute. They're so funky and funny and adorable. It's a fabulous little gift for any reptile keeper. I mean, even if you're not a big like dinosaur person, any reptile keeper would love those.
I think I'm going to add it to my list. Yes. I want a pair.
They're the best. They're not that expensive either. So fabulous.
I know my mom listens to this podcast, so
yes.
Put it on the list.
Thanks, Mom. So then I also had, and this is pretty generic, but any kind of like snakeskin clothing or accessories.
Yes.
Right?
Any reptile print. Yeah. Anything. Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, like just shamelessly plugging, all of our Amazon idea lists and everything. But like I've got a whole list of like reptile mom fashion on my Amazon storefront. So feel free to check that out. But like there are so many cute snakeskin items. They have snakeskin shoes. There are snakeskin leggings. There are snakeskin dresses, tops, everything. So big fan.
I think, speaking of accessories, I need you to hold my note for a second.
Okay.
She does not know I have this in my pocket right now.
Don't.
So I got a gift recently, and it's the cutest little accessory, and I want to show it to you. And since this will be a video podcast, you guys can see this too. So hold on. It's in my pocket.
I'm holding my breath.
Okay, it comes in this cutesy little, like, whatever.
Okay.
Don't sleep on Etsy.
Oh, I freaking love Etsy.
For, like, cutesy little, like, one-off, like, reptile-y things.
And you're usually supporting small businesses on Etsy as well, so we love that.
Look at these. You've literally never seen these.
Oh, my God. Okay, so for anybody who's not watching on YouTube, they're, like, the cutest chameleon earrings I've ever seen. They're wooden.
Aren't those adorable?
Those are so freaking cute.
I'll try and show them to the camera here. I don't know if you guys can even see those, but they are so cute. And so I was gifted these.
Oh my gosh.
Because people know me and they're like, she likes chameleons.
Yeah.
Let me just look up chameleon stuff. And these are seriously the cutest thing.
I love those.
I've also gone like a chameleon necklace.
Yes.
I've gotten that before.
I've gotten rings, snake earrings.
A chameleon coloring book.
Oh, cute. Love that.
And it has like all different like reptile stuff. Yeah. We actually have a friend, Reddy's Rainforest, the coloring book that we got. Oh my gosh,
I love her.
They're now available on their website.
Oh, exciting. Love that.
Yeah. So definitely like if you're a reptile girly and you've got, looking for accessories, earrings, necklaces, rings.
Oh yeah.
There are tons of different options that you can get.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff on Etsy too. I mean, there are people that make jewelry out of like actual snake skins and stuff too. Like there's that. There's so much on Etsy in the reptile world. So be sure to check that out. I didn't even think about Etsy.
Crystals on there at all?
I don't, but I'm such a crystal girly.
Which I feel like a lot of reptile girlies are also crystal girlies.
Oh, that's a great idea. And Etsy has some, I've actually ordered a good chunk of my crystals from Etsy and they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
So definitely if you're into crystals, all that good stuff. Ooh, that's such a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
That actually semi-related plants. Just any plants.
Yeah.
Like literally just head up Home Depot or Lowe's and just get like the coolest plants. Honestly, for any men listening, get a girl a plant. Not flowers. You can do flowers too. Flowers are great. But a plant
Oh, yeah.
Anytime, I'm over the moon if you bring me home a plant.
Did we talk about that? Was it like Valentine's Day?
I think
where
so.
we did like candy or plants or whatever?
I think so,
yeah.
But I mean, truly, like it doesn't even have to be flowers. It can be just greenery. I'm hyped about receiving any of that.
Plants are good. I agree.
So this goes back along to our cork bark and branches, but rocks.
Yeah, chameleons. We don't deal with rocks, but absolutely.
And specifically what I wrote down is black slate.
Yes, I know those are very popular.
Yes, because slate is a really, really good heat conductor. I love to put slate rocks underneath my basking spots so that it like warms up so that they can also get like the belly heat as well. And you can get those online at Amazon, pet stores, things like that. But I've gotten a lot of my slate rock off of Amazon and they're all like really good big pieces too. Oh, yeah. So just, nature stuff.
Do you have reptile room decor anywhere on here?
Mm-hmm. Just in general, I just wrote down reptile room decor.
Yeah, because that's what's popping into my head is like I've seen a lot of people have like cutesy little rugs for their reptile rooms. I have a little pillow that's reptile themed in my room.
Or like cute signs too. Like I've got the cutest sign that I got from ZA Reptiles Herpetology Etsy store. And it says, I was normal 10 reptiles ago. And that's like one of my favorite reptile room decor signs. I love that sign.
Yeah. So anything like that, because for better or worse, reptile keepers tend to be like knick-knacky collectors.
100%.
So we like love the cutesy little things, and a reptile room is the perfect excuse to put things up.
Yeah, anything along the lines that they could display in the reptile room is like top tier idea.
One thing I have in my reptile room is a Chameleon forums calendar. They do this once a year, and it typically is available like around so that you can get it for like a Christmas present. And all the proceeds go to like supporting the forums and like keeping them up and running and stuff. So if anyone's interested who like wants a cool Chameleon calendar, but I'm sure there's other ones for other reptiles, but like that's kind of fun way to like change out the visual graphics within your room.
Oh, so cute. I love that. And this is actually one that just popped into my head because you said calendar. If the person that you're buying a gift for doesn't yet have like a great way of like tracking their feedings or anything, a dry erase calendar is also something that like I would love if I didn't have one already. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. You just said calendar and that popped into my head. So, okay. So that is everything that I have for smaller budget items.
Okay.
So moving into the bigger budget items. One of the gifts that I actually got from an ex-boyfriend years ago, and this was like right when I was like really getting back into my reptile journey. I want to say this was like maybe like 2016, 2017. And he got me a new enclosure and I didn't have any animals planned.
What?
I didn't have any, and this is like my favorite ex-boyfriend too. Like he's the good one. So he did really well with this. But so I didn't have any animals planned. I didn't have anything going on. He literally just got it for me and was like, I know you'll use it and figure out what to put in it, but this way like you're ready the next time you like want to get one. It was like the sweetest thing and I still have that enclosure. It's great. Like
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So I think just if you're going for a bigger ticket item, I think an enclosure, and we recommend a ton of different types of enclosures. But
and it's obviously very dependent on 100%. The species and like what else you're keeping of like how it's going to fit in the rest of your reptile room.
Yeah. And I think the one I got was like 18 by 18 by 24, which was perfect because it was like there were so many different potential species I could have put in that.
Absolutely. So, very versatile.
Yeah. So depends on, what you're going for and what your budget is. But that was something I received in my lifetime that I am still grateful for to this day.
Yes, so, I would agree with that.
Big fan. So, okay, that. And then this one is honestly just my favorite tool of all time. And I'm still in the process of needing to get mine set up, but a Mist King.
Mist King, absolutely.
Yes. Especially if you have a lot of high humidity reptiles and you don't have a misting system yet. And if your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, anybody in your life that you're buying for doesn't have one yet, get them a Mist King.
It is so worth it.
It is so worth it.
Now, let me put some caveats on the misting system. So Mist King has the starter, the ultimate, and then like, I don't know, some like super deluxe, like Zookeeper edition, right? Yeah. But a lot of people hear starter and don't think like it's sufficient. No. So they splurge for the ultimate, which is like way more expensive. Unless you're keeping like over 10 enclosures.
I have I have more than 10 enclosures. I don't use all of them. I use 10 of them, but they I have the starter kit and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So like, unless you have like 15, 20 plus reptiles, you really don't
on the
need to get
same
more.
misting schedule, because like it only can do one schedule across all of the nozzles.
Yeah.
So if you have some that need more frequent misting, then they would need to be on a separate pump. In which case, then you would just get it like a separate starter probably. But like breeders use the ultimate, but like as a keeper, I've just seen so many get the ultimate, and I'm like, you don't need the ultimate. Like there's not, it's not worth it.
And how much is the starter? I'm off the top of my head.
And like 160.
Like, yeah, so it's definitely like significantly less than the ultimate and all that. So I would definitely go that route, especially if you have less than 10 or 15 reptiles.
Yeah.
So,
and also just a plug, if you're going to be getting reptile supplies, like take advantage of discount codes that creators have.
Absolutely.
So you're not paying full price. And unfortunately, a lot of the reptile brands these days are pulling back on their discount codes because they kind of got abused by like bots that like websites that just like stick up a bunch of codes. They would put creators codes on there, and then it got really hard for the companies to keep track of like which sales are yours versus like bots.
Sales, yeah.
So if you don't have a discount code, but you know there's an affiliate or like a creator that you really love, like shopping through affiliate links like is a really great way. Not that you have to, but if you're going to be buying it anyways, I always try to click on 100%. Someone's link so that they can get a little bit of kickback. Totally. So just something to consider as you're doing your holiday shopping.
Fabulous point. Love that point. Okay, so this one I know you will love in particular because you rave about this all the time, but a solar meter. Get one. Do it. Pricey. Worth it.
$250, give or take.
So like I said, these are the bigger budget items. These are much bigger budget, but that is something that is incredible. And just to clarify for anybody who doesn't know, a solar meter helps you measure the UVB output that is coming out of your bulbs.
Yes, the UV index specifically is what it will measure. So it's a good way to tell like if your UVI ranges are in the correct levels for your species, but then also the longevity of your bulb. So you're not prematurely replacing them, that you can probably have them last a little bit longer, or you can catch a bulb sooner if it runs out early for whatever reason, because just because a UVB bulb light turns on does not mean it's producing sufficient UVB.
Exactly. So pro tip, if you don't have a solar meter, get one.
Add to the list.
I still need to get mine. It's been on my want list for far too long. So then this one is also fabulous, but this is going to be for somebody that is a reptile keeper with a lot of enclosures, right? And so this is one of those fancy thermostats, like a herpstat. So those
are pricey.
They're super pricey, and I don't even have one. I don't use that.
I also don't have one, but I've had people buy one through my affiliate link, and I got like the 10% commission or whatever it was. And I was like, dang. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this is definitely like if you're, not balling on a budget, this is a really good one. And if the person you're, looking to buy this for has like a lot of different reptile species, like this is something that is really, really, really helpful just to keep and maintain like consistent temperatures. So I thought that was a good one. How long have we been using Pangea gecko food? Like forever, right?
Since we've both had our geckos.
Literally. I mean, it's one of the OG crested gecko food brands. And honestly, one of my main reasons for using them is their vast variety of flavors.
Pluto's personal favorite has to be the watermelon and the fig and insects.
They go crazy for the watermelon flavor. Mine love the watermelon too, and the fig and insects. Those are a top two in my household.
I also have to give a shout out to the silicone cups, because that has been a game changer.
They are so easy to clean. You can reuse them.
And you save so much money.
You save so much money on the cups.
So if you're interested in any of these products, head on over to PangeaReptile.com.
Hey, reptile girlies, if you're tired of explaining why your spare room looks like a mini Jurassic Park, meet Scratches, the social app where exotic pet owners find their people.
Just add photos of you and your scaly babies, set your filters to reptiles, and start scrolling through local pet parents who get it. No more awkward first date explanations about your ball python collection or why you have a cricket farm.
Whether you're looking for friendship, romance, or someone who can pet sit your beardy, your community is just a match away.
Download Scratches today and start connecting with reptile people in your area. Available on iOS and Android.
So then I also have on here an air purifier.
Oh,
I just think that is, and especially if you have dogs, if you have cats, like all that stuff, any of that like pet dander. Obviously reptiles aren't putting out pet dander, but it's just nice to get like the air in your reptiles area a little bit more clean, a little bit more fresh.
It does get a little stuffy sometimes. Yeah.
So I just thought that was a good one. And
no, I like that one.
And same goes for, like I said, just dog and cat people too. Don't have to be a reptile keeper. Who doesn't love a good air purifier?
I'm with you.
So, and then this is actually a gift that I have actually worked with this company multiple times now to produce content for them. And I actually really, really love this product. And it's the Panasonic Home Hawk window camera.
Yes.
And the reason I love this in particular, it's not a camera that you can utilize to view like your whole reptile room. It's one that has like a sticky thing on the front, and you can stick it directly to the glass on your reptile enclosure so that you can get a full visual of their whole enclosure and what they're doing throughout the day.
You're saying that, and I'm like, that's not going to work for a chameleon for more than one reason, right? It's not going to attach well to a screen enclosure. And when you're working with vertical enclosures, cameras can't.
I will say that it does have a really good like wide angle like fisheye view, so you'll even with vertical glass enclosures, but this is definitely for glass enclosures in particular, or
like
PVC.
a 4 foot tall enclosure. You're working with large.
Right.
I use Ring cameras for mine, and I just put a stool in the middle of my reptile room because I do need the full picture, because unfortunately there aren't many cameras that will get the full range. So like that's what I use. So a Ring camera or the Panasonic camera, like whatever.
But just in general, cameras.
Some sort of camera.
Sort of camera. I just specifically like that one. And if you're buying, if your gifting is specifically for like a reptile keeper that only has like 1 or 2 reptiles.
Oh yeah, like, that's fabulous.
This is like such a good, and I'm thinking mostly like bearded dragon people who have like one beardy that is like their child, you know, like it is probably my favorite camera that I've used that gets the most close-up view inside the enclosure versus like the whole room. And so, and like I said, I need the full room. So there are tons of different Ring ones. But there's
sometimes kinds. I wish I could like see like inside. My individual animals in there. So I think that's fantastic.
So I think the Panasonic one for anybody who, only has 1 or 2 reptiles or something like that and wants the glimpse inside, but then any cameras for like the whole wide angle view as well is just solid, because that is something that comes in so clutch if you're out of town on vacation, whatever, just so that you can make sure and have eyes on them at all times.
Love it.
Yeah. So
did you have any others on yours?
That was my list.
Okay, I have three more. I'm going to say them out loud before they fall out of my head.
Yes.
Plant LED, generator, background.
Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes.
Okay, so plant LED. I asked for an Arcadia Jungle Dawn plant LED light for Christmas. This. Literally, 1 year, and my family was out of state, so I'm literally flying on an airplane with a Jungle Dawn, like 24-inch.
It was like big too. Yeah,
like whatever. It's not, and I'm not putting this as cargo. You kidding me? No. Like, I'm sure it's packaged well, but like, no way. So it's my carry-on. So in my overhead bin, I'm sliding in my 24-inch like Arcadia Jungle Dawn, but those are over $100.
Yeah, those are not cheap. I mean, and ideally you would get one of the ones that's like big enough to stretch across multiple enclosures, but those are expensive. Yeah. So that is a fabulous gift.
Yeah, and at the time I think I just had Neptune, so I just needed the 24 inches. But that I think I got it like 4 or 5 years ago. Dang. And it is still going strong. Yeah. And I've tried other plant LEDs, and there's tons of other ones that are cheaper that are still fantastic, but like the Arcadia Jungle Dawn will forever be not forever. Currently, who knows what's coming out there, but is currently my favorite.
Totally.
Like top. And it's a little pricier, so it's a good thing to ask for like Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, the second thing I said was a generator. So something like power outages is something that I think all of us as reptile keepers stress out about.
It's quite literally our biggest fear.
Heat waves, cold waves, like losing power just in general. You don't have your UVB bulbs. It's a cause of stress.
Yes.
But the price point of a generator, or the price point of, any sort of like heat system or cold system, whatever makes sense for the area that you live in, that can be pricey.
Absolutely.
So being able to ask for that as a Christmas gift, I think can be a good option.
That is such a good idea. I didn't even think about that. That was so good.
Yeah.
And then what was your third one?
Third one, background. So I know you like the look of like the black vinyl, which you can just also get on your Amazon storefront.
Totally.
Which is like, gives you a very nice clean look. I personally enjoy having like the jungle type backgrounds. So a place that I shop through is petbackdrops.com.
Yeah.
And they have all kinds of jungle prints, desert prints, whatever.
Yours are so cute too. I love all of yours.
And you can upload your own image as long as it's high enough quality.
I didn't realize that. That's so cool.
So on Venus's enclosure, I have the literal planet Venus in a galaxy.
I love the galaxy one. That's one of my favorites.
So I uploaded that myself because I was like, Venus, how cute is that? And just a quick plug, since we talked about discount codes, Neptune 10 saves you 10% off on those orders. So
yeah,
if
so
you're looking for those.
And if you're not somebody who wants to take all of the incredibly stressful, long, anxiety-inducing task that is creating and building the backgrounds, this is a wonderful, easy solution.
Yep, they work really great for any glass enclosures, even PVC. You can like while you're assembling the enclosure, put it on the inside. So you've got lots of different options.
Yeah,
so
that's a great idea.
Yeah, and depending on the dimensions of your enclosure, can be like more or less than like $100 depending how many sides you're doing, and like for Chameleon enclosures we're going big and we're doing 3 sides usually at a time, so it like can add up. So a really good gift option.
Totally love that idea.
And they're international.
Ooh, so even better
for any of our international listeners.
Even better. We love it. Awesome.
Yeah. What are some gifts? Because I know you've asked for gifts related to your reptiles. Do you remember some off the top of your head that you've gotten over the years?
Barney's last enclosure was one,
was a Christmas
for sure.
gift. Yeah.
And then the one that I just got, from my ex out of nowhere. But I think that's it. Those are my main ones. Yeah.
Did you get a Miss King for Christmas one year? No. Okay.
No, I bought mine.
Must have been someone else then.
Yeah. No, I bought mine.
Yeah.
At least I think I did. Maybe I didn't.
I don't know.
I don't know. Now I'm second guessing that.
No, you're so good. So there you guys have it. Those are some gift ideas. I'm sure there's plenty more, so be sure to leave them in the comments.
Yeah, please let us know if we missed any, because I'm sure there's tons of other ideas, and I'm always looking for other ideas.
Absolutely. So then the last thing that we thought would be fun to do for this episode is talking about famous people.
Yeah.
Who have pet reptiles.
Pop culture is my favorite thing in the whole world, so I'm very excited about this.
So she made the list of gifts. Yes. I made the list of famous people.
So I don't know who's on this list, but I have a handful in my head that I know off the top of my head.
Yes, and I know you do, so we'll see if they'll make it on this list or not. But the first one I have is Justin Bieber.
Yes.
Did you know that one?
I did know that one.
Okay.
That wasn't one that I had in the back of my head, but now that you say it, I do remember that.
He's had a boa. Did you know that he has previously auctioned off his boa for charity?
Wait, no, I did not know that.
Yeah, so this is hard, guys, with celebrities, because you're like, is this real or not?
So true, yeah. It's like, is it just a rumor?
Like, celebrity websites that have like pop-up ads every 5 seconds, and I'm like, get out of here.
And they all have like all of the like allegedly claims.
And so take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because I'm going off of what the internet says.
And if any of them are wrong, just let us know.
Yeah. But from what I can glean, this was back in like 2011, 2012, like prime JB days.
OG Bieber days.
Yeah, exactly. And so he had a boa and then like auctioned it off for charity.
Wow.
And then he had one named Sid. I guess that was like pretty popular.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think he currently owns any snakes though.
He's also got like a whole new baby. So I'm sure he's like moved on from his reptile keeper journey.
Absolutely. Okay. So did I put this one on here twice? Oh, maybe this is wrong. I have Kylie Jenner, but then I also have Kendall Jenner.
Okay, that's really weird, because the only Card Jenner that I know for a fact that has them is specifically Northwest, which is Kim K's daughter.
Okay, so there was a picture of Kendall Jenner that had a ball python wrapped around her little bun and was like, "This is my new son," or whatever. And it looked like maybe a banana ball python. And to be so clear, I do not know the Kardashians well enough to know if that was actually Kendall. I'm going off of what like we.com or whatever that, celebrity page was.
I know this is super, okay.
But it was a Kardashian sister.
I have a lot of thoughts, because I know for a fact that Northwest has at least 2 bearded dragons. And supposedly Kim K brought in like quote unquote like experts to like do their enclosures and all that stuff. And what I find hilarious about this whole situation is that I think it was actually back when North first started like getting a little bold on TikTok and started like posting stuff.
Yeah.
And she posted her enclosures and the comments were crazy. And I will admit, the care actually wasn't horrible. They actually did have like 4-foot enclosures. They did have like the proper UVB. They did have like overhead heat. So they actually had like the good basics. It just wasn't bioactive or anything like that, which a lot of bearded dragon keepers don't do, because beardies are more likely to like lick the substrate and all that stuff.
Sure.
So it, like I said, it all just depends.
That's not a knock on
but
on
it
the
was
enclosure, yeah.
But I think basically what I'm saying, and the whole point of me telling the story, is that I am pretty positive that if Kendall or Kylie do have a ball python, they probably learned a lesson from North posting its enclosure on social media, and that's probably why it's skeptical which one does or doesn't have it, because they don't post their pets because they don't want to get attacked. Jenner
with a ball python and a Leo, but I didn't have any pictures of that one. But I for sure saw a picture with Kendall and the ball python. But I think it was like older, like
that's so interesting.
Pre-West.
That's okay.
Is their name West?
North.
Last name Thank you. West. I was like, that wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
It's hard, okay?
I know. It's a lot of names, a lot of family members.
Okay, this next one I'm so excited about. Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yes. I know this because that man is crazy in the best way.
I have details, okay?
Ooh, okay.
So he had 2 king cobras named Moby and Sheba. These snakes were kept behind bulletproof glass and 2 locked doors. Again, all off the internet. So please, who knows the validity of any of this?
This man also owned the Lalaurie Mansion in New Orleans for a decade or so.
Wait till this next sentence.
Oh, gosh.
He paid $276,000 to get them. Again, no idea if that's true or not, but that's what the internet says. In 2008, he had to give them away after his neighbors threatened to sue him, as they were scared of having such dangerous pets around that could potentially escape and enter their homes.
I have so many thoughts.
King cobras.
I mean,
2.
Not very many people should have king cobras, if we're being honest.
He did say that he had an anti-venom on hand.
That's
and,
good.
You know, they were more look at, whatever.
I'm judging less.
In like, obviously, bulletproof glass, locked door. I don't know why it needs to be bulletproof, but, whatever.
Obviously, I do not know Nicolas Cage personally, but I personally would not trust that man with 2 king cobras.
The list goes on. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
He then had, past tense, a 2-headed snake. Did you know this?
Wait, those don't usually live very long.
Named Harvey after the Batman villain.
Oh, that's a cool name. Yeah.
He bought the snake for $80,000, but later donated it to the Audubon Zoo.
Oh,
I'm saying that right?
Good. I'm glad it ended
because
up in a zoo.
He found that feeding the snake was difficult because the 2 heads would fight over food.
That was quite literally the first thing that popped into my head. I was like, they usually don't live very long, and if they do, it's feeding them is like a whole process. That was literally what was going on in my head as you said this.
So he would put a spatula between them during feeding time to help keep them apart.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
So when he donated the snake to the zoo, it ended up passing away at the age of 14.
Wow. Which, okay, I mean...
Because I know you had mentioned age,
little premature, but for a two-headed snake, that's actually probably a pretty long lifespan. Yeah. Because they usually don't make it, like, that long. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Props Nick Cage. I swear, this man just does, like, impulse purchases. Because
so that's the thing is, like, he doesn't actually still own any of these.
Them.
But he did have them for, like... a significant, like, multiple years. It wasn't like a couple month thing, like,
right.
Because then there's this next one. He also owned an Asian water monitor lizard.
That's the one that I knew. I knew that one about him. I knew that he had a monitor. Okay.
So this says it was named Michael. This speckled lizard. That's so funny they use the word speckled. Speckled lizard was one of Cage's exotic pets. He decided to give the lizard to the Wildlife Discovery Center in Lake Forest, Illinois, after owning it for 5 years.
Okay, I will say props to Nicolas Cage for properly giving these animals a good home after the fact.
Yeah, I think he bought these
and then got in over his head.
Insane animals.
Yeah.
Did in theory everything he could, right? With we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Like giving them large enclosures and whatever. But these are very intimidating species.
Absolutely,
to own.
All of them.
So I can understand after couple years, 5 years, whatever. Then you're like, okay, this is a lot. I'm gonna give these, and as long as these places are legit, in theory,
well, and it sounds
good places.
And I would much rather him give them to those places than sell them or give them to a friend or whatever. I would so much rather them end up in a home like that.
Yeah.
So I am actually props Nick Cage. That was actually if these places are legit, I don't know anything about these places, but that's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are like probably some of the cooler species.
Yeah.
So the next one we have is Slash, the Guns N' Roses guitarist, who owned over 100 reptiles, according to the internet, including snakes, lizards, crocodiles, boa constrictors, anacondas, Burmese python, a chameleon, a mountain lion, and a rat.
A mountain lion?
That's what the internet says.
Okay, I have a lot of concerns, but cool.
So one of the boa constrictors was named Pandora and was featured in the band's 1989 music video for the song Patience.
This is the one that I knew. I knew that. I just didn't know that he had that many.
And an anaconda, which is cool for you. Very a chameleon, which is cool for me.
Absolutely.
So, and I don't know what, like over 100 reptiles?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I'm hoping and assuming that he was paying somebody else to care for that many.
Well, yeah, when you got money, then one would hope.
One would hope.
Okay, this one I did not know. Chris Pratt. Did you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've actually been in his comments.
Oh, okay. We'll get back to that. But he owns a bearded dragon named Leo.
Yes. And actually, I think it's technically his son's bearded dragon, him and Anna Faris's son. I forget what the kid's name is, but he for a while would actually, I want to say, this was back in like my original TikTok days, so I want to say like 2021.
Okay.
And so he would post the bearded dragon's enclosure and was like, you know, showing his son caring for him and like all this stuff. Reptile carpet, 20-gallon tank.
Come on.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. So I was definitely up in his comments, not being mean, being like, hey, you could use some advice. Like, let's give you some tips.
I know. And I have such a hard time with that because then people who don't know anything about reptiles are like, oh, the police reptile, are coming.
The TikTok vets. It's the TikTok vets who know everything. And I'm
the
like,
reptile police.
And I'm like, yeah, actually, I do know more than Chris Pratt's
hundreds of people telling, and this is not just famous people, this is just like any video that gets a lot of views that then starts hitting outside the intended audience. It's no longer just reptile keepers.
That's the same thing that was happening in Northwest comments was and I think this was also, I think now, because again, this was in like the early days of when North was posting on social media. I think Kim has like all the comments turned off now for her kids, which makes sense. But it was the same situation where there were a bunch of people being like, hey, this isn't the best care. Like, hey, they could use, you know, this or that. And then it was the same thing. People were jumping in being like, yeah, they're clearly well cared for. She paid for like an expert to take care of like all this stuff. I know.
And I wish that was the case, but in actuality, like
it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
So it's always really, because I have been called a TikTok vet quite a few times in my day, and it is infuriating. That's always like,
if you want help, let me know.
Which is why, like, anytime and we've talked about this in our episode about like how to combat like reptile keeping on social media and stuff, but I always just start out with like, hey, so cute. You know, if you would like any tips, like, you know, you gotta be nice about it. So I've never been like rude or bashing about it, but I was definitely in Chris Pratt's comments at least one time.
I love that. And on the episode we did about combating, you know, poor husbandry on social media, we did talk about what do you do when someone has a big following, right? Because it could be literally a celebrity that you're working like to try and convince that they need to get different care.
Yeah. And I mean, my usual go-to is I drop one comment and then I dip out and I leave and I don't go back because it gets ugly after that. It's like,
hi and bye.
Here's my one olive branch. If you don't take it, I don't care. Bye.
True story. I'm the same way.
So,
okay. Yes. Do you know this next celebrity, Tori Spelling?
Oh yeah.
Who are they?
Oh my God. Oh no. She's like, I'm almost positive that she is from the original Beverly Hills 90210 show. I don't know. Yes. Hold on. Movies and shows. Was she? Yes. Beverly Hills 90210 star. This
is why we have Lyssa on.
Yes. I am the pop culture queen of this podcast. Absolutely.
Specifically reality TV though. Yes. Because I feel like I'm pop culture like movies and stuff, and you're pop culture reality TV.
Well, Beverly Hills 90210 was a scripted show. It was not reality TV, but in the same
category.
Coming
from someone who doesn't know.
Exactly. That's what I was like,
reality
you're showing why I'm the reality TV queen.
Absolutely, I am.
But she was also in the first two of the Scary Movie movies, and then she was also in Saved by the Bell. She's like a pretty big star, I would say, from like 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Okay. But I think she's
I'm just also really bad with like famous people names in general.
Oh, for sure. But I just immediately was like, that's 90210. I know that she's from 90210.
Okay. So Tori Spelling made a YouTube video all about her bearded dragons.
Wow.
And so this was a whole article just on this. So it says Spelling revealed in 2019 that she has helped birth 14 bearded dragons over the years, including pets Smushy and Slushy.
Wow. Wait, so she bred them?
That's kind of what I'm getting. It says birth, but you don't like birth bearded dragons.
They lay eggs.
So like this again is coming from someone who wrote this article who has no idea what they're talking about.
So weird. Yeah, so I'm assuming she bred them, which is interesting, but cool, I guess.
Quote, they're like mini dragons. She gushed about the reptiles via YouTube in 2019. So she's got Smushy and Slushy and is gushing about Smushy and Slushy.
Wow.
All these words. One of the bearded dragons in particular, quote, likes to sit on my head, Spelling revealed. Quote, he watches all my reality shows with me, Housewives and Kardashians. His favorite Kardashian is Khloe.
Oh, she's also my favorite Kardashian as well. So, love that.
Bearded dragons. And there you have it.
Love that.
Okay, the next one we have is Chrissy Teigen and John Legend.
Yes, I did know that one. And they have also received some bashing in the comments as well.
Some feedback.
Yes.
Yeah, so they have a bearded dragon named Sebastian that they gifted to their son Miles for his second birthday.
Concerns.
Second birthday. Are kids walking at 2? They're walking at 2.
Some. Most. Well, okay, most. I'm revealing how little I know about raising children. But
I feel like you're like walking and talking. I don't know about like complete sentences, but.
Yeah, but that's a concern. No 2-year-old needs a lizard, but okay. Cool, Chrissy.
I could not fact check this one. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio.
This was the one of my ones that was on my list.
Okay.
And I'm 99% sure that it has been fact checked, and I have personally witnessed numerous photos of him holding chameleons, holding a bearded dragon, and I believe with a tortoise as well. So
this is where like Google got a little confused of a celebrity holding a reptile versus a celebrity owning a reptile.
No, but I'm 90. He definitely has owned some.
Okay, so sure. This was saying an African spurred tortoise.
Yes,
was one that he had owned, and maybe it's other species.
I think he also had a bearded dragon because I remember there being a story that he would bring the bearded dragon on different sets.
Oh, cool.
So I'm pretty positive he also had a bearded dragon.
Interesting. Yeah, because there's a lot of celebrities that pose with snakes.
Yes.
And so then the Google, algorithm, whatever, is like, oh, this person owns it. And I'm like,
do they? Or is this just
their
a cool
Instagram
photo
is literally
shoot?
Just their dog. So I don't think
this just a cool photo shoot.
I don't think they own the snake.
Yeah. So that was the only, all the other ones you've mentioned, but that was the last one I had in my head that was.
Okay, I have 4 more.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So Cheryl Burke and Matthew Lawrence. Do you know them?
Oh, whoa. Matthew. Yes. Boy Meets World.
Something like that.
Boy Meets World.
Yeah, I guess she was like kind of famous too, I guess. Wow. Again, I am not the right person.
Yeah, I don't know her.
But Matthew Lawrence, they together have over 40 reptiles in their home.
Dang.
And I guess Matthew Lawrence has been like a really, really, really big reptile guy because when Cheryl was like asked about it, the rule was no snakes. Quote, that was the deal. But when we dated a little over a decade ago, I knew I'd be marrying a guy who loves reptiles.
I love that.
So like he was already a reptile guy and she knew exactly what she was getting into.
It's the girl version of Logan.
Okay. Did you know this one? Willow and Jaden Smith having pet snakes.
No, I did not know this one.
So Willow got her first boa when she was 7 years old.
Also concerning, but moving along.
And the article got like a kind of weird. It was saying how like they like sleep with their snakes and they've got like 10 snakes in their room and sometimes some of them don't have enclosures. And I was like, I don't really believe that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That doesn't sound right.
That also just perpetuates the myth of the woman who slept in bed with her snake and it was measuring her and all that crap. So I hate that a lot, and I really hope that's not true.
Yeah, the article was weird.
No way. Google's weird.
But they had quotes from both their parents, including Will Smith, about the snakes, and like they seemed cool with them and like whatever else. Yeah. So we'll see.
Interesting.
Okay, and then the last one I have is Zayn Malik.
Oh, One Direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
One Direction.
Has a bearded dragon.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Beardies are always the intro, the gateway drug into reptiles.
Gateway reptile.
For sure.
Yeah. So those are the famous people, at least off of my internet search.
Nice.
I'm sure there's a few more.
I love that.
And honestly, how many have them and just don't post about it because they
get attacked.
What happens to everyone else.
It's so funny because I'll never forget seeing North posted that. And I think there were like 2 videos that she posted showing her beardy enclosures, and after that you never saw the enclosures again. It was very clear that Kim was like, we're not showing that.
Well, and that's what like I see that with new keepers too though. You just like get shredded to pieces, and then it makes you afraid to like post about things. So
100%. So that's awesome. Love that. Love to see it. As long as they're representing proper care, I'm thrilled.
So there you guys have it. Let us know if you knew some of these. Some of these were surprises. If you knew other famous people.
If we missed any, let us know.
Yeah. Otherwise, that is going to wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can get your podcasts. Check us out on social media at The Wild Type Podcast. Yeah. You can follow me, Neptune the Chameleon.
Lyssa's Lizards.
And we will catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye, girlies.